Hey there, y'all. 1989 Donruss Rack Pack. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them right here. 5 Donruss Rack Packs, 1989. Now, up on the Wall of Fame, I'm only going to put the key rookies, okay? I'm thinking Ken Griffey Jr., Gary Sheffield, Randy Johnson, BGO, Smoltz, and Schilling, who I think should be in the Hall of Fame. He's not there yet, but I do believe he's going to get there sometime. Now, before I get started with that, I do want to just remind y'all, in case you ever forget, that today may not be good, but there's something good in every day. Sometimes you might have to look for it, and sometimes you might not realize that there was good in today until a day, 2 days, 6 months, a year, 5 years later, that you realize, hey, if not for this happening, well, all of these other things might not have happened. So you know what? Even though it might have been a bad day, that one good seed that was planted on that day sprouted into an entire tree. Anyway, with all that being said, now 1989, as I said, I'm only going to be putting the key rookies up there, but there's tons of Hall of Famers in these. Got one right up on top here. Got Cal Ripken Jr. Now, if you're looking at PSA 10 values, of course, the Ken Griffey Jr. is the one that rules the bunch. That's the one everybody's looking for at a PSA 10. Well-centered, sharp corners, sharp edges, all of that. But besides that, the Mark Grace Diamond Kings, $157.51 was a recent sale, according to the PSA website. The Dale Murphy card is also up there. The Tony Gwynn, Hall of Famer, of course. Keith Hernandez, Alex Madrid rookie for some reason in a PSA 10. The Randy Johnson is up there. The Schilling, the Bo Jackson. Other Hall of Famers, of course, that you could find in these would be Carlton Fisk. Who else? Barry Bonds, not in the Hall of Fame, but you know what? Maybe someday. He's definitely an all-time great. Fred McGriff, Mattingly, who will be in the Hall of Fame someday. Ripken, you got sitting right there. One of the things we were looking for when this came out, of course, was the Gregg Jeffries rookie. Now, he was the hot rookie. He was the one that was supposed to be all like the best that the Mets had ever seen. And unfortunately, he didn't turn out that way. And I say that kind of as a caution to anybody that's looking at young players from any team right now. There have been tons of other young players on different teams over the years that are supposed to have been great, may have had that highlight season their rookie year. I'm thinking of Kevin Moss with the Yankees, of course. Or they were coming up and they were supposed to be everything great and they just didn't turn out that way. Good example, of course, would be, as I said, Gregg Jeffries. Anyway, let's get started. And again, I'm going to be frappering up. I got my frappers here ready. I'm going to be frappering up all Hall of Famers, but I'm not going to be putting them on the Wall of Fame. All that's going to be going on the Wall of Fame, as I mentioned, okay, and this is 5 packs, so I want to see how many of these I'm going to get out of 5 packs. Griffey Jr., Sheffield, Randy Johnson, BGO, Smoltz, and Schilling. So 6 maximum going to be on the wall, 6 different players, but we're going to see how many of each we get. So let's get started on this. We're going to pop open the first rack pack. Now, as I'm doing this, I just want to say I definitely appreciate all subscribers, all comments, all thumbs up, all that great stuff. I really consider the blessing when I see how much this channel's grown over the last months. And it's because of y'all. I mean, I just do cards and life and other stuff. But you know what? I definitely hope you enjoy these videos. Anyway, so we got Ripken. So I'm going to be frappering that up, but he don't go up on the wall. Nope. Got Jim DeShays. Hipolito Pena, or anyway, Kelly Downs, got Greg Minton, Mike Boddicker, Dave Svoom. I mean, what a cool name, Svoom. Dave Schmidt, Tracy Jones. Now look at the expression on his face. I mean, that's a hopeless expression if I've ever seen one. Maybe it's because he's with the Expos and he knows that they're going to be defunct in a couple of years. Got Tim Foley. Oh, sorry. That was Tom Foley, not Tim Foley. Drew Hall, Brian Harvey, Greg Barak, Robbie Alomar, another Hall of Famer there. Oral Hershiser, he's juggling his balls, 59 and counting. I mean, somebody named Earl probably should not be juggling. I was going to say playing, but I'll say juggling. Playing with his ball, juggling his balls on a baseball card. Anyway. And we got Greg Maddux. All right. Nice card there. Great card there. I will frapper him up. Not a rookie, but definitely frapperable. So let's get those started. All right, so that's the Maddux. That's the Alomar. Now, these are going to go either team packs or Hall of Fame packs. You can check out my eBay store. I occasionally post links down below. Not in every video, but in many videos. And some of these cards may end up going into them. Now, this one right here, this Cal Ripken, if you notice, even if it was something that I might submit, I probably would not submit it just because of the spacing, because of the centering on that. Not exactly a PSA 10, and that, of course, is a big problem during the junk wax era and before the junk wax era. That centering was absolutely atrocious. All right, so let's get to the second cell here. I miscut that, so get to the second cell of pack 1. All right. We have Luis de los Santos. Looks like a real happy guy. Let's move those out of the way. Johnny Ray, Mackie Sasser, Andres Thomas, Corey Snyder, Hojo, Howard Johnson there. Spike Owen, he looks like he's about to swing, and that looks like an active game back there. It's a lot different than Jim Gott. That looks like he's just standing there for spring training. Look at the background difference. Got Wallace Johnson, the Expos, Lance Johnson, Mike Aldretti, Chet Lemon, Glenn Hubbard, Ken Williams, Mitch Webster, and Ray Hayward. So nothing up on the Wall of Fame as of yet. Let's get to the third cell of this first pack. Again, going to be opening up 5 rack packs. Happen to get my grubby fingers on. And we're starting off with Israel Sanchez. What a mustache on that dude. Got Lloyd McClendon, Lance McCullers, Neil Allen, Kevin Bass, Mike Moore, Don Robinson, Tom Gordon. That's the Tom Gordon that Stephen King wrote a book with the title in years back. Greg Harris, Todd Froworth, Paul Assenmacher, or Assenmacher, Greg Caderet, Kirk Gibson. Nice centering on that one. R.J. Reynolds and Tim Belcher, and our puzzle card. So that's the end of pack 1. Let's move on to pack number 2. Nothing up on the wall, and so far only 3 Hall of Famers in the first pack. Kind of a dead pack there. And even though the Cal Ripken was up on top, not much after that. All right, so we got pack number 2 going here. 1989 definitely was a great year. I absolutely remember when these cards came out. The color, the way that they produced these. Of course, you had an upper deck that had the security control and all of that to make sure that nobody knew what was inside those packs. Anyway, we've got Pat Perry, Brian Harvey, Greg Barack, Tony Gwynn, Hall of Famer there, Fernando Valenzuela, Manny Trillo, Odebe McDowell, Terry Leach, Keith Miller, Glenn Braggs, Mitch Williams, Charlie Puleo. Now, one second. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think I'm going to put that one to the side, and I'll take a look at it later. But I remember that being somewhere up on the PSA 10 list. Nah, maybe that was a different year. He's not up there. Anyway, we move on. Dave Magadan, Blackjack McDowell, Guillermo Hernandez, and Dave Palmer, and our puzzle card. So we'll get Tony Gwynn and a frapper. And move on to the second cell of this second rack pack. Starting off with Charlie Hudson with the Yankees. All right, we got Alex Sanchez. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the one that we'd be looking for, the rated rookie we'd be looking for outside of Griffey Jr., of course, would be Alex Madrid, not Alex Sanchez. That's just based on PSA 10 past values. We got Eric Hansen, Mark Clear, Scotty Geraltz, Alan Anderson. Ooh, Ken Caminiti. All right, well, that's a good card. That's a nice card to pull, but not one that we'd be looking for. Donnie Baseball. That's a great card. One of my all-time faves. I'll frapper him up. Ozzie Virgil. Terry Steinbeck. John Moses. Don Carmen. Jeff Sellers. Dick Schofield. Steve Buscemi. He looks like he's just happy to be here. And Darrell Evans. He does not look like he's happy to be here. He looks like he wants to go home and just maybe take a break. All right, well, we're going to get the Mattingly and a frapper here. Still looking for the first thing to put up on the wall. None of the major rookies yet. I say yet, because you know what? If you haven't gotten to the last cell in the last pack, there's always hope. All right, got the third cell of pack 2 here. Starting off with Tom Candiotti, Mike Jackson. I guess that's like the 12th member of the Jackson 5 or something. I don't know. He pitched for the Mariners. Dave Gallagher, Tom Brookins, Scott Sanderson, Andres Galarraga, Wally World Joyner, Jose DeLinde, Alan Trammell. All right, we'll frapper him up. He's MVP card. Ken Hill. Ooh, Wade Boggs. Nice card there. Centering's a bit off, but still a nice card. Rob Murphy. Pink Floyd Bannister. Jeff Muscleman. Yeah, he doesn't look like he's much of a muscle man, but what do I know? And Danny Darwin. All right, and our puzzle card. So let's get a couple of those frappered up. That's our Boggsy. And our Alan Trammell MVP card. All right, on to pack number 3. Onward and beyond. I don't know if I like these scissors. I keep feeling like I'm going to cut through a card, and guaranteed if I slice up a card, it's going to be one of the majors. It's going to be the Griffey Jr. or something. That's sometimes how my life works anyway. Starting off with Alex Sanchez again. Stu Clyburn. Dave Steve. Now, great pitcher with the Blue Jays, that's for sure. Ernie Whitt. Mike Lavalier. Kirk Gibson. Jay Howell. Mike Davis. Dennis Rasmussen. Mickey Brantley. Carlton Plop Fisk. Another Andres Galarraga Diamond Kings card. Pete Harnish. Luis Alicea. Gene Larkin. Canseco 40-40 Club. All right, now that's a nice card to find. That's one of the ones I'd be looking for back in 1989, that's for sure. Celebrating his entrance into the 40-40 Club. But for now, you just go into the pile. So we still have a bare wall up there. Not very cool as far as an opening goes. I'm starting to wonder what's going on here. All right, well, get to middle cell of pack number 3 here. And see what's going on there. Got Will Clark, Andy Allenson, Andy Nizelik, Kurt Stillwell, Felix Furman. He looks like he's ready to hit something. I mean, based on what I remember about him, he probably missed. Bobby Ojeda, that is. Dennis Martinez. All right, we got a Kirby Puckett. Nice Hall of Famer card there. Jerry Brown, Terry Poole, Paul O'Neill. Nope, you sit down. Oh, everybody's favorite, the checklist. Let's see, who do we have on there? Anybody good? Got Oil Can Boyd. Who else? I'm sure there's somebody else on there. All right, Mark Grace. That's a nice card to find. That's his rookie. That's a very nice card to find. I'm going to frapper that up. Brett Saberhagen, Miguel Garcia, and our puzzle card. Now, the Mark Grace, if it's in a 10, okay, PSA 10, of course, might be worth a few bucks. I know the Mark Grace Diamond Kings is definitely up there a bit, but not the Mark Grace base card. So, I'm going to frapper him up. Now, even if that was worth something, that's definitely not very well centered. That left to right is horrible. But we'll keep that in there. And you know what? I'm actually going to put that on the side. Get that off to a bud of mine. Got a package going out this week to a friend, so that'll be in there. We got the Kirby Puckett as well. All right, let's get to the last sell of this pack number 3. We're halfway through this, and there's nothing. There's squat. I mean, y'all know the player named Jack Squat, right? Because he's up on the wall right now. All right, third part of this. Rick Honeycutt. Now, look at that. Horrible. I mean, his name is basically popping off the top of that card. Don Robinson, Rick Sutcliffe, Joe Beauvais, Robin Yount. All right, Rockin' Robin. Frapper that one up. Louis Aquino, Fred McGriff, new Hall of Famer there. Rick Russell, Terry Clark, Scott Bradley. Dave Parker should be Hall of Fame. Lee Smith, Rich Yett, Dave LaPointe, and R.C. Gonzalez. So we got a couple more Hall of Famers there, but still absolutely nothing up on the wall. What's going on here? I'm starting to wonder about these. I mean, I know that there's questions as far as ordering of cards and, you know, people checking through packs, through rack packs to know what might be underneath. You know, collation and sorting and all of that were not all that great during the 80s. A lot of people say that on a lot of different brands. You can tell exactly what card's going to be somewhere in that pack based on what's on top. So, I don't know if that's the case with Donruss. I know it was the case with 1987 Topps. I definitely remember that. Having the pattern, as we called it, to know where a Barry Bonds rookie was, or the McGuire, or the Canseco. So, I mean, we definitely bought more than a few packs, knowing what was underneath. Start off with Greg Harris. Now, I do wonder if something similar is with the 89 Donruss. But anyway, Kent Herbeck, Alan Ashby, Eddie Murray Hall of Famer, Scott Sanderson, Jeff Sellers, Alvin Davis, Tom Lampkin, Gerald Perry, Mike Pagliarillo, Alex Madrid again. No, wait, Alex Madrid, that's the one that we're looking for in a PSA 10. Not a rookie, but the centering, of course, is off again. Left to right is not all that great. I mean, it was maybe like a few millimeters further left, then maybe. But otherwise, nope, sorry, you take the bench. Jack Clark, Ron Oyster, Tony Fernandez, Mark McLemore, and Glenn Braggs. And our puzzle card, Warren Spahn was the puzzle that year. All right, we're just going to keep ripping through these wrappers and all that. All right, we got number 2 pack, or number 2 cell of pack number 4. And, nope. Now, what happened there? Eddie Lee Whitson does not want to give up the frapper. Does not want to give up the pack. Now, if I cut Eddie Lee Whitson in half, would he be upset? I don't know if he'd feel it. Anyway, we'll move on. Got Ed Whitson, Matt Noakes, great catcher with the Tigers back then. Matt Williams, all sorts of hope with him. Lou Whitaker, All right, we got Ken Caminiti. I mean, almost kind of, sort of, but not exactly. Carlton Plop Plop Fisk Fisk. Todd Worrell. Frank Banana Tanana. Keith Miller. Charlie Hudson. Tom Pagnazzi. Ricky Horton. Johnny Franco. He's looking really happy to be here. Jim Rice. Another great player. Gerald Clark. And Jody Reed. So still nothing at all up on the wall. Now I'm really starting to get concerned here because we're almost at the end of pack number 4. And we have not found one of those rookies yet. No Sheffield, no Griffey, no Johnson. No Johnson, sorry. No Biggio and no Smoltz and not even a Schilling. What the heck is going on here? Anyway, keep it moving. And what do we have in this one? We got Terry Leach, Danny Darwin, Tony Gwynn, all right, another Hall of Famer, but Paul Kilgus, Oral Hershiser MVP card, the Warren Spahn puzzle card, Bill Wegman, Ken Hill, Jimmy Key, Juan Samuel, Steve Sachs, Chuck Krim, Tom Brookins, Dan Carman, and we finally got one up on the wall, Curt Schilling. Now, there you go. Finally got one good one, and that doesn't look too bad. The centering might be a touch off, but I definitely like that one. Schilling was one of my favorite pitchers. I mean, he could pitch. And yeah, sure, he had a bit of a swagger, a bit of an attitude about him, and he still does to this day. It's kind of what got him in trouble with some people, I guess. One of the main reasons he's not in the Hall of Fame is political stuff that he said that some people don't agree with. And, you know, there have been a lot of things that players of all sports have said over the years. And I don't think that your Hall of Fame credentials should be affected by things that you say that people might not agree with. Because over time, I guarantee that there's something that you out there will say that somebody does not agree with at one time or another. So just keep that in mind. I mean, you might not agree with what he said, but a few years from now, well, there might be a lot of people that don't agree with what you're saying. So anyway, we got Don August, Ron Jones, Chris Carpenter, Willie Randolph, great second baseman with the Yanks, Danny Darwin again, Tom Henke, Tim Loudner, Barry Larkin, all right, another Hall of Fame card, Bogsy, another Hall of Fame card, Ken Hill, Will the Throw Clark, Bob Kipper, Kevin Bass. All right, so we got Kippers and Bass, two types of fish there. Andres Galarraga and Al Newman. Not the old man, but the new man. Newman. See, Al Newman. All right, so let's get two of those up in frappers. I gotta get some more out. I mean, that's one thing that these packs have been good for is Hall of Famers. Vintage packs you will always pull, or almost always pull, unless they've been tampered with, Hall of Famers. Modern packs, you're going to pull a whole lot of maybe Hall of Famers. You might pull one or two. I mean, again, I'm thinking about different players that are just wrapping up their career, like Pujols, for example. Yeah, you know what? Guaranteed Hall of Famer. But there's others that may or may not be. You don't know how their entire career is going to play out or how even the next year or two might play out with them. All right, now this is the last pack. We only got one up on the wall. Okay, we're starting off with Bob Dernier. All right, the Mark Grace. There we go. Now, that's the one we were looking for, but that is very badly centered top to bottom. So, unfortunately, that would not be a 10. And, yeah, the top to bottom on the reverse is also not all that great. So, you get to take a seat. You're not even Hall of Fame. So, Wes Gardner, Robbie Alomar, all right, Hall of Famer there. Spike Owen. Darryl Strawberry, one of my favorite players there. I'm going to frapper him up just because, you know what, I like him as a player. Mike Krukow, Luis Aguayo, Norm Charlton, Tommy Herr, Jerry Royce, Oswald Peraza, Cameron Drew. Checklist. Hey, we got the MVP card from Cal Ripken also. So that's not bad. We'll get those two frappered up. And then there was one. We're down to the last cell. Last cell of 5 rack packs with only one of the major rookies found so far. So definitely not cool. I'm going to do another one shortly that has another 5 in it, or maybe more, maybe less, because I do have definitely a stack of racks to go through, but this has been kind of disappointing. I mean, I'm glad to have gotten a Schilling. Would have been better to have pulled a Griffey in each pack, right? I mean, just my opinion there. So we got Fred Tolliver. I think it's the fact that I'm using scissors. Maybe I need to go back to the real knife. Anyway, we got Fred Tolliver, Adam Peterson, looking all shady there. It's like, yeah, okay. Got Terry Kennedy, Sid Bream, Rich Yet, not yet, just Rich Yet, Shane Mack, Kevin Yoles Gross, Sherman Corbett, Bobby Bonilla, Dave West, Mike Young, John Dobson, Manny Lee, Kevin Brown, there goes Brownie, nope, and Greg Walker to wrap up these 5 packs. Now, only one up on the wall of fame from the ones that I mentioned: Griffey, Sheffield, Randy, Biggio, Smoltz, and Schilling. That's 6 actually that I mentioned, but only one. And only one Curt Schilling rookie. Now, it was also, in my opinion, kind of Hall of Fame light. There goes Robbie Alomar, Ripken, Larkin, Wade Boggs, another Gwynn, Warren Spahn, Carlton Fisk, Eddie Murray, Rockin' Robin Yount, Fred McGriff, Lee Smith, Kirby Puckett, Carlton Fisk, Alan Trammell, Wade Boggs, Mattingly, not a Hall of Famer, but I'm going to put him up there with Strawberry, Tony Gwynn, Cal Ripken Jr., Robbie Alomar, and Greg Maddux. So definitely a bunch of Hall of Famers in there, but these were pretty lightweight packs in my opinion. Let me know in the comments down below what y'all think about these packs. I'm not totally thrilled, but it is what it is. Sometimes you hit some big winners, some hot packs. Other times, well, let me introduce you to Jack Squad. Anyway, y'all take care. Stay well. Stay blessed. Bunkle out.